Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Deffinition, aka the world's biggest Mario Golf fan, so naturally I'm very excited for The Last of Us 2. I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is a video that I've been going back and forth on doing for a while now. I've had people tell me not to do it, I've seen YouTubers that I'm a big fan of have their videos removed, but the important thing to take from this is that I'm an idiot. So yeah, I'm covering it. I know this channel isn't really that much of a gaming one, but this story is too big not to talk about. I've had to think about how to talk about this as well without being flagged, and yeah, it's just a weird situation. I did report on some Halloween Kills leaks last month and Universal had it blocked, and in the end it just led to a waste of time and my channel being in trouble. So up top, I will say that in this video I will not be talking about the leaks themselves or showing any of the footage. This is just more my reaction to the leaks. However, there may still be some spoilers in this because of the way we talk about things, and if you don't want it ruined, then you need to go play golf or something. I'm sorry, that was bad. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we do videos that are going to be a lot better than this one, and yeah, you'll like it here, I promise. Anyway, I've sort of been talking to a great YouTuber named Jimmy Champagne about this entire situation for the best part of a week now, and it's been good having someone to just go back and forth with. Definitely check out his channel for great videos too, but I think the best place to start is to talk about my love for The Last of Us because it kind of sets up everything in general. So The Last of Us was a game that I got day one, and it came at a time in my life where I was at university and working a part-time job, so I had a lot of free time to put into things. I played it from beginning to end the day I got it, and I was completely blown away by it. Just everything about it felt perfect, and I remember feeling shaken by the end of it. It to me was a masterpiece that almost transcended being a game, and it was just a phenomenal story. I don't know why, but I sort of felt the same way at the end of it as I did watching the ending of The Godfather for the first time, and this game, similar to that movie, ended with characters knowing that something was a lie, but we also knew that in a way that the characters just had to accept it. It gives me goosebumps just talking about it, and honestly it was one of the best experiences I've had in gaming. Now I will say, The Last of Us did not need a sequel, it was perfect, but when it got announced, I, as I'm sure many of you, were excited. And I'm actually also sure that a lot of you watching this video went through a similar experience to me. When I heard the game had leaked, I didn't want to ruin it for myself. I of course saw the tirade of people bashing it and saying it was garbage, but I just thought, how bad can it be? So I avoided it completely until one day I saw that the game had a new release date, and I clicked on this tweet and then saw a post that was about one of the plot points. It sounded ridiculous and I thought, no, that can't be true. But then I saw the likes and comments on it and those saying that it was true, and thought, no way. And this kind of sent me tumbling down the rabbit hole, and I ended up looking up the leaks and seeing the clips, and it just really left me feeling, I don't want to say empty, but like, damn, they ruined it badly. Now, we kind of got a whiff of the way that things were going at Naughty Dog a couple of years ago with Uncharted 4. Amy Hennig was heading up the project, and she's a phenomenal writer. There were rumours that Hennig was pushed out of the company by Neil Druckmann because she refused to put certain things in the plot of that game, and then there were also reports that a focus tester was fired from Naughty Dog for giving feedback. I just thought that was a load of crap because focus testers are there to give feedback, but I think this report is true, and apparently Druckmann was angry that he said he didn't want to play as Drake's daughter, which annoyed D-Man, and he got rid of him. So yeah, already things were starting to look a bit strange, but you know, it's The Last of Us 2, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be amazing. So then more comments came out by Druckmann about Anita Sarkeesian. If you don't know who she is, she basically runs a YouTube channel called Feminist Frequency, and at the time, you know, a couple of years ago, she was labelled as the saviour of video games, someone who would point out all of the sexism and misogyny that existed within the medium, someone who would save us all. She gained popularity quite quickly, but since then she's kind of lost her audience because it was clear after a while that she was just pointing out non-existent problems in order to get attention. Like some of the videos that I've seen her post recently are things like Birds of Prey is a fun movie, you just hate women, and the industry has silently sort of distanced themselves away from her. However, she made Druckmann change his way of thinking, and there's a couple of interviews where he says that she helped him realize that he was making misogynist games, and I'm sure she's gonna go out with you now, bro. So, The Last of Us 2 goes into development, and this was around about the time that Hollywood started putting films into production in which they put agendas before plot. Now, we know that this has caused a lot of movies to bomb in the past couple of years, and it looks like studios are starting to wise up and move away from this way of thinking because it just doesn't seem to work. It's probably right because people are sick of being told that they hate women if they don't like a movie. Anyway, games take much longer to make than movies do on the whole, so Druckmann and co. didn't have this hindsight. Troy Baker came out at E3 and said that The Last of Us Part 2 would have an ending that you need to have an open mind for. A bit of a warning sign there. We then got reports that they made the female characters less feminine to appear to be more inclusive, and there were examples of this where they decreased a character's breast size to make her more natural looking, which imagine saying that a game character looks more natural looking than a real person. Anyway, headlines and reports like this are often written for clicks, as I'm sure you know, and I don't tend to pay them much mind. The get woke, go broke movement can kind of be annoying and over the top sometimes, and I just thought, there's no way this game can be bad because it's Naughty Dog. We then heard that the game would be about Ellie hunting down homophobic Christian villains, and Druckmann came out and said, if you're a phobe, an ist, or believe in something with an ism, then I don't want you to buy our game. Now, I don't know why, but people have started saying stuff like this a lot recently, and it just seems like virtue signaling that puts people off who aren't even those words. Tim Miller made a similar comment with Terminator Dark Fate, and I know that most people aren't that, but if you're like me, then you see people spouting things off and just think, well, I don't want anything to do with this because this guy sounds like he has a high opinion of himself, and I can't be bothered sitting through a movie where I'm going to be lectured to. I don't believe that these things bomb because people are any of those bad things, and I just think, personally, that we're sick of being pandered to. Now, the Christian villains were the things that I thought people were kicking off about, like either that or the Ellie and Dinah kiss, and I thought that the controversy surrounding the game may be around that. Ellie was clearly always a gay character though, so I didn't get the fuss, and I pre-ordered the game even after I saw reports that employees had lost their jobs over voicing concerns about the story. Then the game got delayed indefinitely, and I kind of have a theory over this. I think that Sony saw that it was going to be a car wreck and they just decided to push it back. You don't delay something indefinitely, refund people, and then announce its new release date a couple of days after leaks come out. To me, it was clearly ready to be put out, and they decided that things were going to be bad, so they thought, you know what, we'll just delay this and try and fix it. Mocap performances were still taking place in January, and I think it's kind of obvious people were working away to change things. 70% of the staff of a department walked out around that time too, and crunch was put in place. Now this is a common practice within the industry. I can kind of see both sides of it, as everyone has busy periods in their job where you're expected to work more. However, crunch shouldn't become the norm, and that's what it sounds like it was at Naughty Dog. We were told that leakers were disgruntled employees that were fired after asking for bonuses that they were promised. Sony then stated that this wasn't true and that Naughty Dog had been hacked. I'm not sure if I believe this because they have covered up being hacked before, like remember the big PSN store hacking, and if it's true, it just shows that their security is lacking. It's a bad look either way, but as this story is still developing, I don't want to say which one is true when we'll probably never know, unfortunately. Now, for the leaks themselves, I have to say I was so disappointed after reading them that I didn't believe that they were true. However, after seeing the footage, it seems like they are, as it all lines up, and clearly the way that Sony was striking channels adds legitimacy to them. Now, I will say that it's wrong to strike channels reporting on leaks, especially ones that don't even show the footage. The hacking, if that's what happened, is being labelled as corporate sabotage, but you don't stop something illegal by also doing something illegal. It's wrong, and Sony and Naughty Dog are wrong for doing it. That being said, man, you guys messed up so much. We didn't need a sequel, right? You had amazing characters. No, scratch that. You had some of the best characters in gaming, and you could have just let them have their ending, but you brought them back for what? For this. Just to shove a message in our face. Nah, you messed up and you deserve the backlash that you're getting. Now, I'm just kind of sick of this happening to characters I care about. Like, John Connor was a perfect example where you had an amazing character, an amazing franchise, and you killed him off just to replace him with some crappy social message that no one cares about. Good job, Naughty Dog. You murdered your best property just to make a point. Slow clap. Golf clap. Now, the new character Abby, there are rumours that she's trans, and I don't want to get into that as we don't know if it's true or not. Some places are reporting it as being a fact, others aren't, and you know, either way it doesn't really bother me. So I will say that up top. What does bother me though is that you killed off some of my favourite characters ever just to make me play as this person. After watching what she does in the game, which is like kill one of the main characters and then kill a pregnant woman, how am I meant to feel good about playing as that person? Like, at what stage does that become something I want to do? You guys made Crash Bandicoot, and now you're making games where the player is forced to be someone that murdered a character we love and a pregnant woman. It's baffling how you dropped the ball. Now, they're pushing the message that this is actually a really progressive move and that times are up for old white men that do what they want. But how is it progressive to have your new character's mission to be to kill a lesbian couple? Whatever her gender is, I don't care. Sonic the Hedgehog could show up in the game and kill the characters that they do and a pregnant woman, and I'd still be like, F this blue little D-head. You killed them. Like, for what? For what? To show that violence is cyclical. It's a message that we've seen a ton of times, and it's not clever, it's just annoying. There's even a character that spits on the character that gets murdered that looks like Neil Druckmann, and he's literally spitting on the legacy that so many people gave blood, sweat and tears over to create. It really annoys me, and I hate this thing where people think they can just come in, kill off characters, and then replace them with their own political message. Terminator Dogfight again did this, and it completely sucked. I don't want you to crap on the things I'm a fan of just to pander to people. I don't even know why the people who own these franchises are giving you the time of day when your sole purpose is to literally spit on them. This gets in the way of why we play games and watch movies. I'm not doing this to be told I'm a bad person for not liking your story when all your story is focused on is telling me that I'm a bad person. And the way that you tell that story is kill characters that I love. Now, clearly the Last of Us team didn't have the hindsight that we do now, where we know these tactics just lead to failure, so I think it was too late to change. And then when the leaks came, Sony just thought that they should put it out and deal with the consequences. After reading these leaks, I don't feel bad about killing those scientists, and now the original sort of just feels like a big waste of time to me. This is a huge swing and a miss, pun intended, and after seeing the footage I was just so flabbergasted by it that I didn't want to believe it was true. However, I've seen clips that confirm them and I just don't know what they were thinking. I'm glad I found out in advance, because if this had have happened when I was playing it, I would have turned off the game and used it as a frisbee. Like, I think we all know deep down that the character that dies was gonna die. Like, they needed their comeuppance. But not like this, and even if you had to handle it this badly, don't then switch characters. Like, Ellie was awesome in the first game, and I wouldn't have minded coming back to play as her just to get revenge. That would have made me want to play the game just to get the person, but to do what they did and not even let you get revenge for your friend, it's just so stupid. We wanted this game to be zombies, horror, not human versus humans. That's been done to death, and you've ruined your franchise to the point that you can't even retcon it. Gender, sexuality and so on aren't personality traits, so don't kill someone off who has a fully developed character just to shoehorn your stupid message in. What the devil's wrong with you? I kinda think that this will hurt the HBO series too, as they recently cancelled the Game of Thrones prequels for being too woke, and this isn't going down well already, so I don't see how people will be hyped for a show on it now. Now, I will say that I am still getting the game purely for the channel. If it wasn't being covered, I would just wait till the reviews were out and then when it was on sale, because what a way to ruin this. They've isolated their audience to pander, flagged and reported multiple channels that were advertising their game for free and talking about it, and everything. It's just such a risk, and it rarely pays off. I almost feel like the people who leaked this are the real SJWs, because they saved the world so much money. It just sucks this had to happen. I get the messaging, I get the cyclical violence message and everything, but you could have done that with Joel and Ellie, and who is getting steroids in the apocalypse? Now, I have seen some people saying that they actually like the leaks and think they're good, and I'm not someone who thinks they're always right. You know, the game could still be great. So yeah, leave your comments below if you disagree with me. I can see how it might be fun for people who like big twists and nothing being held back, but for me, reading them, it's just a big miss. Now, if you agree with me, then let me know, and make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the story. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things coming out, and at the very least, I will be reporting on the game after I've had a chance to play through it and, you know, see if the plot is really that bad, or if they've added some things in the end and they've saved it a bit. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you, you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at DeffinitionYT or click the Discord link in the description below. Those are the best ways to keep up to date with heavy spoilers, so hopefully we see you over there very soon. Thank you.